Welcome to the Marketing Pulpit TV show. I am Robert Gatewood, your host, and we are here every Friday, 10:30 a.m., bringing you the good marketing gospel. We're not saving souls, we're saving businesses, we're saving jobs, saving our community. Now, if I happen to save a soul along the way, don't hold that against me. We'll just call it icing on the cake. Because the mission here at the Marketing Pulpit show is to build strong businesses in our community so we can put our people to work. And we do that business development, job creation, and service. If you ever find yourself at a business crossroads and not sure which way to turn, just turn on the Marketing Pulpit TV show. We are on a mission. We're on a mission. We're going to build these businesses, create these jobs, and put our community on a solid footing. Welcome to the show. Welcome to the show. I'm Robert Gatewood. I'm your host, and this is the Marketing Pulpit TV show. And top of the morning to you. I have my coffee in hand. See this little cup here? We call that branding, ladies and gentlemen. Think about it. Or how are you branding your business? People don't do this stuff just because they like this to look at themselves. They do this because they know that building a brand is a pivotal and foundational part of building business success. Welcome again. Welcome to the show. Go to marketingpulpit.com to follow the show. You can listen live right there on the homepage of the screen. We're broadcasting live from Facebook. We're on YouTube. We're on Twitter. And you can go to Instagram also and follow the snippets of the show, see the guests, see some of the little tidbits we put up there every now and then. So, folks, we're out there. You got to jump on board. If you are a business owner or you know someone who's in business, this is the show you have to get familiar with. I'm not just tooting my own horn, but this stuff actually works. I am a business developer by trade. I've been doing this longer than many of you guys have been alive. I've worked in corporate America. I've worked in the government space. I'm an instructor. I teach this at the colleges. So I got a little bit of street cred. I'm Robert Gatewood. You can go to gatewoodmarketing.com and find out more about me and what I do, or just Google me. I mean, it's out there. I know my stuff. But anyway, welcome. This is a Good Friday. This is Good Friday. This is the Friday before Easter. And it's Friday. It was actually the day of the crucifixion, where it's a Christian holiday celebrated this time of year. And this Friday is the Good Friday. It was 3 days before the resurrection. And of course, Friday was when they crucified Jesus Christ on Calvary, a hill outside of Jerusalem. And so this is a holiday it's a weekend that people are going to be doing a lot of celebrating. You're going to see people in funny looking outfits and bright colors and hats. I don't know how they're going to do it in this pandemic, but we've been under this pandemic for some time now, too. So I hate that we have to do this. All these milestones and great events that are happening, we have to do them under the pandemic. But the pandemic, like the quote said, this too shall end. Welcome, everybody. Welcome to my regular followers and listeners and viewers. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for having faith in the Marketing Pulpit and following us and sharing your information. I really appreciate you. Thanks everybody who's tuning in on Facebook. See my brother Clyde. Good morning, brother. Good morning, good brother. Hope you and the family and mom and Ellen and Lillian and Joe and Curtis and Leon and Daniel and JC and God, did I miss anybody? We have a big family. And Clyde, he's one of the OGs of the Gatewood Brothers. We have a show every Friday, every Wednesday on his platform called Brothers for Real. And so thank you, Clyde, for tuning in. Thank you, brother Witherspoon, for joining us, fellow Livingstonian. Good morning, Brother Brown, the greatest plumber in the land. So we have people tuning in all over the place, and I'm just glad to be here. I'm glad you have taken time out of your Friday morning. There are so many other things you could have been doing. I mean, not many that's better than this, but I'm just saying, you do have choices, right? So anyway, welcome on this Good Friday. I'm just glad to be here. Glad to have my cup of coffee in hand. And glad to have another day and another Good Friday. Speaking of Good Friday, this COVID vaccine means that this quarantine and this lockdown may be coming to a close. Is that good? We would think so. But see, that's the thing. Sometimes you have to put yourself in other people's shoes. Some things that you think are good are not so good. Some things you think are bad are good on other people. That's called perspective. We out here, some people are spiking the ball. They're saying, wow, this vaccine is almost, this lockdown is almost over. Man, I can't wait. I'm just celebrating. Man, they got the hella celebration hats on. They're getting the little shots in their arms and shots in both arms. They're getting 2, 3 shots and saying, man, life is about to get back to normal. Life is good. Hold your roll there. To some people, they're not celebrating at all. As a matter of fact, they're like, oh no, I was enjoying this lockdown. Now, why would you say that? Why would somebody say that? Let's talk about this for a minute. And then sometimes when you have to get outside yourself for a minute. We are so into us. We are so into what's important to us that sometimes we forget that there are other people that are not like us. Now, historically, as a race, we have to deal with that every day. But sometimes, even within the race, we don't take a second look at our neighbors and what they're going through. Did you know that some people are not celebrating the end of the lockdown at all? Matter of fact, there is a sense of dread, apprehension, angst. You're like, wait a minute, life has never been so good. Let's examine this for a minute. Let's suppose that you are an introvert. You don't like the glam and the spotlight. You like being behind the scenes. You like things quiet and low. That lockdown was right up your alley. You like, man, this is my kind of life. Suppose you're antisocial. Now, what your idiosyncrasies have been normalized during the pandemic. What do you just burn out? Like you worked so hard for so many years, and suddenly there was this quiet, there was this calm. The earth seemed to have stood still for a minute. Are you really eager to jump back into that rat race? Think about it. That might be some of you guys listening. What I'm doing now, I'm also just think about it. Let's say you're a lonely person. You didn't have many friends, few family members, nobody checking on you. All of a sudden, the lockdown made that normal. You weren't ostracized. You weren't the other anymore. You were right in there with everybody else. You're unattached, habitually unemployed. You're not sitting here celebrating that this lockdown is almost over. You're saying your life is about to be turned back upside down the way it was before the pandemic. When you didn't fit in, when you didn't have the spotlight, when you didn't have the job, your life was closer to normal than it has ever been for many years. That's why some people are not celebrating the end of this pandemic and this lockdown. Now, of course, who in the world would want to see a pandemic that has devastated so many lives? Well, what we have to do, ladies and gentlemen, we have to separate the pandemic from the lockdown. Okay? The lockdown was the result of the pandemic, but they're not one and the same. Remember that last time we had a big snowstorm and how you woke up and looked out the window that morning, you saw 3 feet of snow, and you said, oh man. And you almost felt guilty because you felt good about it. You said, shouldn't I be mad that I have to share? Some people out here sliding off the road and heaven forbid getting injured and in some worst case might lose their lives. Why should I be celebrating this? Because it was calming. You were able to relax for a minute. You were able to take a breath. You were able to get off that treadmill of life. That's why some people are not celebrating the end of the lockdown. But what I'm going to tell you today, ladies and gentlemen, it's okay. I'm going to be your therapist today. I'm going to pull out my member of the Therapist Association card today and let you know it's okay. Stop the guilt. Because I know many of you listening, you're in that category. You can't figure it out. We call that a cognitive dissonance. You are torn between two opposing views. You should be celebrating that this pandemic is coming to an end, but you're not celebrating the end of the lockdown because it's not going to make your life better. Here's one you probably never even gave a thought to, a second thought to. Do you know that there are asthmatics out here? People who are allergic to air, ragweed, pollen. For the first time in some of their lives, they have seen a sense of relief. They are wearing masks, where in the past, if they pulled out a mask, they would have been shunned, ostracized, and looked at as some kind of freak. But now everybody's wearing a mask. And so for the first time in some of their lives, they're allowed to be normal. So there's a greater picture here. There's a bigger story. It's not just the pandemic or the lockdown. It's that we have to start being more mindful of other people's condition, of what they're going through, or what their lives entail. Just because something is great for you doesn't mean it's great for everybody. Me, I'm glad that the pandemic is ending. I'm glad that the lockdown is going to be over, not because of me, because of so many other people have been negatively impacted. But for those of you who are dreading it and have this sense of anxiety, I understand. Because there's some parts of it, I'm telling you the truth. Man, I was liking this calm. I remember the first time that the governor started saying we're going to open things back up. I had a little something in here. They said, oh man, why am I feeling this way? Shouldn't I be happy? No, because I was just tired. I needed a break, ladies and gentlemen. So yeah, I understand. Come on. So folks, let's be more mindful of other people's conditions and their predicaments. Anyway, folks, I just thought I'd throw it out here on this Good Friday. So we're going to be celebrating. This weekend is going to be a week of celebration for many, and everybody's not celebrating Easter. There are other religious holidays around this time of year as well, though. But we have to be mindful of everybody. I always wondered, though. People always ask me, how in the heck did Easter come on these strange days? Man, one day it's in March, next day it's in July, and next it's not July, but it is. It does fall right this year. It falls on April, but generally we think of Easter in March. But this tells you also about how sometimes how things happen. The Easter is not really technically celebrating. It's not. Let's put it this way: it's not tied. The date is not tied to the crucifixion or the resurrection. It's actually tied to the spring equinox. And I'm not going to get into a whole lesson on it, but it is like the first Sunday after the 22nd. I don't know. But anyway, it is kind of strange how that date comes about. But it's not tied exactly to the crucifixion dates. Just like Christmas. It's not tied exactly to the date of Jesus' birth. It's tied into the winter equinox. Anyway, just a little FYI. Ladies and gentlemen, we have ourselves a great show up here today. What I'm going to talk about later on also, I'm going to talk about the dynamism of success. The dynamism of success. Some people are experiencing success. Some experiencing success, really as a result of this pandemic. They're seeing numbers they've never seen before. Some people are seeing success in their social, like their nonprofits, in their lives, and their star is rising. But unfortunately, for better or worse, some people's success is not exactly taking them where it needs to go. So I'm going to talk about success in case you're one of those people. You're trying to figure out why I'm successful, but I'm not feeling like I'm not happy. Things are not moving to that next level because it's a mindset. I'm going to help you get into that mindset of success and why success is dynamic. Dynamic means evolving, ever changing, moving. Success is not the end of the road. It's the beginning. We don't work to succeed. We succeed so that we can work and do our life's purpose. Remember that. I'm going to take a quick break and come back. I'm going to talk about some items in the news. You're listening and watching the Marketing Pulpit TV show, me with my coffee. And we're going to take a quick break. I want to thank my sponsors. We have a new sponsor, a young couple out of North Carolina. called the Perfect Batch Food. That's Walter and Adrian Terrell. Wonderful couple. Glad to have them on as a sponsor. They're going to do some great things. If you have this. I wish you had these products that they offer for your Easter dinner. Because I know some of y'all gonna be baking hams. What do you eat for Easter anyway? Is it turkey, ham, or chicken? What is it? How do you determine what meat goes with what holiday? I mean, it's understood that when a turkey comes along, it's going to be either Christmas or, I guess, Thanksgiving. What do you eat on Easter? Is it ham? What does ham have to do with the resurrection, or I don't know. But anyway, my point was, if you had this hot sauce or this twang spice for my clients, man, you would have yourself a different kind of holiday and a different kind of meal, because I'm hooked on it. I keep this bottle of hot sauce with me when I eat. I go in the house. I'm eating late at night usually, so I go fix my food. I put it on a tray, then I reach up in the cupboard and grab my bottle of the Perfect Batch hot sauce, and I put it on everything. I mean, chicken, beef, even my vegetables. But anyway, glad to have them as a sponsor, and also my sponsor, BLE Executive Suites. They are doing phenomenal things. I've been with them now for about 10, 11 years, and they've been a sponsor of the show. And so we kind of like reciprocate. I'm one of their clients, they're one of mine. And we have four. They have their location in National Harbor. They have the location in Largo. And they have their location in College Park, which is the hub zone. And every time we meet, we have our marketing meeting, our strategy meetings, we're adding new space. That also talks about, folks, the constancy of purpose. You have to understand how marketing works. It is a process. It's a long-term process. I remember when BLE first started, they had a couple of little suites in one location. But boy, marketing mess around and kicked in. You start providing good service. You start understanding that dynamism of success. And great things start to happen, but it doesn't happen by happenstance. It doesn't happen nilly-willy. You have to plan it. You have to have a strategy. And that's why I'm happy to have clients like BLE and the Perfect Batch Foods and Eternity Plumbing and Bradley Law and Neely Fuller and Joe Madison and MRS Tax and Taxes and All, more taxes, Grady Plumbing, and Choices International. My list is going on. I can sit here and talk for the next week this time. I'm just glad that, first of all, my clients have allowed me to serve them, because I'm always going to put myself in the position of a servant. And also, it helps me fulfill my purpose. It took me a while to figure what that purpose was. I was working at my daddy's grocery store. Little did I know at that young age that my purpose the foundation had already been laid. I'm going to be in business. My job is to help businesses grow. So anyway, folks, we're going to take a quick break. This is Marketing Pulpit TV show. I'm Robert Gatewood, your host. I'm here every Friday at 10:30 a.m. We bring you the good marketing gospel. We're not saving souls, we're saving business. But on this Friday, hey, you never know. We're going to come back. We're going to talk about a little bit of the news, and we're also going to talk about the dynamism of success. Marketing Pulpit, we'll be right back after the break. Good morning. Welcome back to the Marketing Pulpit TV show. I was looking at some of the notes. Mr. Brown said they eat lamb for Easter. That sounds pretty good. Lamb. I'm trying to think, have I ever had lamb? Is a lamb, I guess lamb chop. Yeah, okay. I've had lamb before. Don't make me hungry up in here. Um, Good morning, younger man. Hey there, Brother Witherspoon. Brother Witherspoon. Don't call me young this morning. And Brother Clyde, welcome, brother. Good morning. Welcome to everybody. This is the Marketing Pulpit TV show. You can go to marketingpulpit.com. We are on Instagram. We have a very fast-growing audience over there. We try to just give you some of the taste, that you taste the Marketing Pulpit. Give you some of our clips, some of our famous quotes, some of our segments. And you can watch the show, of course, live on marketingpulpit.com. You can also watch it on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter. And also you can go to Radio 1, where we have a footprint over there. They're playing some of the reruns over there since we're not in the studio these days. So go to WLDCnews.com. You can watch the show there as well. These are rerun clips from when we were in the studio. And we do plan to go back into the studio at Radio 1. That's where we got our start. Kicked off over there back in, matter of fact, May of 2010. It's easy to remember because that was the year my father passed away, and the show was named Marketing Pulpit in his honor. He was in hospice when the show was being contemplated, and I was looking for a name, something that I could use to honor him at the same time. And so I remember the many years he spent in the pulpit, and I got a lot of my antics and personality from him. People say I look like my mom, but I have my dad's height, and I guess there's a voice, and some a good combination of my mom and dad. Mom is 100 years old this year, but she's 101 this year. She turned 100 in September of last year. So I just want to say thank you again to my parents for allowing me to be who I am, instilling in me a sense of pride and purpose, and really appreciating the greater things in life. Hard work, dedication, and being a good person, helping other people. So thank you, parents, on this Good Friday. Thank you for everything that you've done for me and my family. And to all the parents out here, doing a great job. Let's talk about a couple of things in the news. We have this, of course, this vaccine is still going on. I don't know what things. I kind of like this pandemic. This pandemic give me a chance to relax and chill out and cool. Now that rat race for a minute. And I understand that. I really do understand that. But for the most people are ready to move on with life as normal because the business community has really suffered. And so, but at the same time, let's keep in mind that everybody's not exactly feeling it. We have this trial going on. This guy, Derek Chauvin, who killed George Floyd by kneeling on his neck. We thought it was 8 minutes and some seconds. Now we found out it was 9 minutes. It's really been tough to watch. I'm just going to be honest with you. This happened a few months ago, and it never gets easier to watch. It's harder to watch now than it was the first time. I thought I had moved on and I could kind of steel myself. But watching this man on his guy's neck, on Mr. Floyd's neck, for 9 minutes, no matter how much people pleaded, we had these young people on the witness stand who are crying, saying they wish they could have done more. Now, when you have a 9-year-old teenager who are suffering that type of anxiety, they're like, I wish I could have done something. I wish I should have. One young lady said, I wish I would have pushed him off. Well, I ask myself, what would I have done if I had been there? Would I have watched? Would I have done something that would have probably endangered my life? Probably. I don't know that, though. And so I don't want to second guess the people who were there, but it would have been very hard. I know it would have been extremely hard for me to watch and to do nothing. And people did do things. It wasn't enough to save his life. And for those people, I really feel sorry for you. I pray for you that you lift this anxiety and this pain that's, I'm sure, is going to be with you the rest of your life. And I really feel sorry for the young people that were there that had to experience it. And they're feeling like they should have done something. What can a 9-year-old do? But even I'm way up here in Maryland and I'm feeling like I should have done more. Let's tell you how deep this is. As a community, collectively, we are hurt by this. A hole in our heart that will never be repaired because we had to watch somebody being killed in real time, yelling out for their mother. I can't breathe. So it's a tragedy. But as a community, we've endured. We've had to keep reliving this same story and over and over again. When will it end? When will it end? Well, I've made my commitment, my purpose to help build economic foundation in our community, and that will have some impact because people don't. They like Dr. King said, people can't ride your back when your back is bent. By building these businesses in our community and helping us build this solid economic foundation, it will make people less likely, or at least more difficult, to feel to give them the power or to even think that they have the power to put their knee on your neck almost 10 minutes. So I'm doing what I can in that arena and also trying to help people understand that we can move in several fronts. But that trial is really difficult to watch. I really feel sorry for the people who had to endure what happened firsthand, but we all are still suffering through it, including myself. And I'm way up here, so I can imagine the people had to deal with when they were right there on the scene. I hate to do it like such a crazy topic, but right here in the state of Maryland in Charles County, a woman just drove her car into the window of the Taco Bell. I'm not saying she went to the drive-through window. She went through the window of the restaurant. She had some argument, some altercation with one of the people at the window. She jumps out of a car, she hits the person, then she jumps back in her car and drives through the front window of the restaurant. And the reason I bring this up, because last week I was going to talk about the double-edged sword of technology and how everything is everywhere right now. You can't do anything now without somebody finding out about it or seeing it. The technology has some great things, but it will put your business on Front Street like nothing else. Now, how do you go back and explain this to your child? Mom, is that you on the news that drove through the Taco Bell? I see your car. Or your child explaining it to your parents. Mom, Pop, but they didn't give me my sauce, or they put chicken in that burrito instead of beef. It's not excusable. How do you tell your boss, your employer, or your clients? You're sitting in the middle of a contract negotiation or a job application or a project, and you being flashed across the news because there's your car sticking out your driving light, your tags are sticking out the window of a Taco Bell. What kind of foolishness is that? People don't make these decisions in the spur of a moment that's going to impact the rest of your life. That's what that's about. It's not excusable. I don't care if they didn't give you any sauce. I don't care if they left all the meat out of your taco. It sounds crazy saying this, but this is where we are as a society. People are stressed out. People are really stressed out right now. So people are going to make some crazy decisions. And that's arguably one of them. So I regret the employees that didn't do that. And to the person that did this, I wish I could help you in some way. Maybe you're having a tough life, obviously. That's not normal. I cannot believe that you woke up that morning saying, I'm going out here today. And if somebody mess around and put the wrong meat in my taco, I'm going to run my car through the window and I'm going to show them. No, it's stress. It's anxiety. Maybe one of those folks who hate the pandemic is going to be over when life was different. I don't know. But folks, let's think about these decisions that we make before we make them, because it impacts people beyond us, our families, our children, parents, our employers. The boss gonna fire you. I'm telling you, the boss once your name hit that news, there's a clause in your employment contract you haven't read yet. Probably didn't even show it to you. But if you embarrass that company, you're out the door. Speaking of stress, another unfortunate situation in business. A company called Ms. Tax. Some customers came in to complain about their tax return. I don't know if they didn't get enough money back or something. Now, when you get a disgruntled customer, there are several ways you can deal with it. You can deal with it. You can exceed expectations. You can make sure that they leave there feeling like you took care of that situation and it was never going to happen again. You bent over backwards. You brought in the people that maybe that had the misunderstanding and put them together. You walk through that process and said, look, I see where things went wrong. I'm going to make sure, matter of fact, I might change my policy tomorrow just to make sure this doesn't happen again. I am glad you brought this to my attention. That's one way to do it. The second way to do it is to pull out your 357 Magnum and point it at the customer. I'm not making this up, ladies and gentlemen. This actually happened. People are stressed. I'm telling you. There's no kind of excuse under the world, under the sun that I know of, that would justify pulling out your gun and pointing it at a customer at your place of business. Now, if they're robbing your place or threatening your life, but from the story that I read, the person was complaining about their tax return. Man, what the kind of tax was? What kind of? They didn't get enough money back, or what? They didn't know they had to pay something. They didn't do it on time. I'm trying to help understand this, but why the owner took such umbrage at this person's complaint? But anyway, once again, you're making these kind of decisions that's going to be with you forever. You can't do this, ladies and gentlemen, if you're a business owner or if you're a person. This is going to follow you. This is that double-edged sword of technology I was going to talk about last week before we had a power outage. Man, talking about irony. Live by the sword, you die by the sword. We couldn't do the show last week because there was no power in the building. So technology, now of course, thanks to technology, I'm back here today. I can talk about it. So yeah, double edges at work. Now Jack Dorsey, the founder of Twitter, I kind of like that guy. Jack Dorsey, he's a very progressive young man. He's got this long beard. He wears a skull cap. He's not your typical CEO, but the guy's very progressive. But he has some tips on how to deal with stress. Let me see what Mr. Dorsey said. What's that old saying? If you want to be successful, do what successful people do. That is what he did. He says he takes cold showers and ice baths along with hypnotic breathing to manage the day-to-day stress. Cold showers. I know cold shower work for some things. I know stress was one of them. That's going to stress me out just the thought of getting. Let me think about that for a minute. You know, sometimes you dread something so much that is the thing you're dreading is the dread is worse than the thing that you're dreading. I think that cold shower might do that for me. I remember when I was I had a torn retina in my eye one day, and I didn't realize I was seeing these flashes out the side of my eye, and so I went to the doctor. And you know, when you go to the doctor, you figure they're gonna go in there and talk to you, put you in there, and put you in a little gown or take your breath and take some blood. And if they come back, and we'll fix this problem. Now, of course, when they do that, you got that long time to dread going back, wondering what they're going to do with you. Are they going to stick your needle in? You're going to stick their finger in somewhere they shouldn't. So you got all this dread. Well, somehow this medical provider must have understood that. So they took me in there and they shined this light in my eye. And I mean, this was like, even though they numb you, they drop these things in your eye that dilate your pupil, and then you go out there and sit for a minute and come back, and then they come back and drop something else in your eye, so your eyes are numb. Even though you can't feel it, you know something going on that shouldn't be going on. So your mind is feeling the pain, even though your eye isn't. But what they did the laser surgery to retouch the retina in the same visit. Now, of course, I was thrown aback. I'm saying, don't I have a time to think about this? But then I thought about it. The only thing I was going to do when I was thinking about it would be dreading it. So after I left them, I'm saying to myself, hey, I think that was pretty cool. I didn't have time to dread it. They got it done. But anyway, so back to Jack Dorsey and his antidote for dealing with stress is to take a cold shower and ice baths. Woo, boy, y'all got to help me on this one. Ladies and gentlemen, somebody in this listening audience has a better way, a better remedy for stress than ice baths. I'm getting stressed just thinking about it. I'm gonna tell you, I can't do it. I'm telling you, I don't even like my water in the shower to be warm. I want it hot. I want it like blistering me almost. The thought of getting into an ice bath, I'm stressed just even thinking about Jack Dorsey again. I don't know how to think about that one though, but maybe it works. Hey, like I said, this guy's not a billionaire for nothing. Maybe those ice baths may have been the answer. So anyway, on some good news, payroll jumped in 6 months, according to ADP. More people are getting paid. So I guess some of the pandemics after effects or shocks or leaving, we're starting to see more people get hired, going to work. Things are looking up. At least they are for men, according to another poll. The pandemic, now before the pandemic came along, it was going to take about 100 years for men and women to be on parity at the rate things were going. So, and this really ticks me off because I think about all the women in my life that they got to wait 100 years to see parity. That was before the pandemic. Since the pandemic, that number has stretched to 135 years. Come on, people, we have to do better. And we can chew gum and walk at the same time. We can fight for our community, Black people, but we also got to keep in mind that our sisters out here, because there are a lot of sisters in those numbers. They dealing with two pandemics. They dealing with the racism pandemic. They dealing with the sexism pandemic. And of course, then we got this Corona pandemic. So let us, if nothing else, if you don't go out here and fight the fight for them, let's not be a contributor. That's one thing I've been mindful of most of my adult life, is to make sure that I'm going to pay people what they're worth, irregardless, handicap, regardless of your gender, race, economic situation. I try. Am I perfect? No. But if we just only try, let's make an attempt. If we're not going to solve it, let's not be a contributor. That's what I have to say about that. Now, thanks to Volvo, the automaker Volvo, they're like, hey, look, we don't like those numbers. So they're going to do something about it. That's what I like about some of these companies. They step up to the plate. And that's what I'm trying to get my clients to do, because I tell my clients, we're not just in this to make money. We're going to be successful, not because we're out here chasing dollars. We're not just out here trying to fatten, line our wallets and drive bigger cars. And we're trying to make a difference. And you can too. I want you to think on this. Think about, this is not just altruism. This is good business. Automaker Volvo, this is what they said. They have revved up their parental leave program so that everybody involved in the maternity process get 24 weeks of paid leave. Oh my goodness. 24 weeks. I mean, dang, that's 6 months. Where's my daggone application to Volvo? I knew I bought my first Volvo for a reason. That was my first so-called luxury car, was a Volvo. I was living in Virginia Beach. I knew I liked those people for a reason. Volvo. Go ahead, Volvo. You are on it. That includes the men and the women. 24 weeks paid parental leave if you're having a little one. It's going to pay 80% of your base pay to its 40,000 employees. My goodness. Volvo. Makes you want to go out and buy a Volvo, doesn't it? It reminds me when I got my first major sponsor of the Marketing Pulpit TV show, and I was Kevin Calabucci. As a matter of fact, he was the general manager of Mercedes over in Silver Spring, and he heard the show, he liked the mission, and he came on board and wrote the company a $1,200 check. Man, I almost fell out of my chair. And so to show that this works, I would talk about the Mercedes Benz on the show, and this lady calls me and tells me she was going to go down to Mercedes and Alexandria to buy her car. She was about to go down there and write the check. She heard me talking about Mercedes Benz of Silver Spring and how they were supporting this show and helping us create jobs in the community. She turned her car around and drove up to Silver Spring and bought her Mercedes Benz at the Silver Spring showroom. And the guy, Kevin, told me the story. He even sent me the emails. So look what this lady said. And so, folks, it's not just good. You're not just doing this for feeling good. That's a good thing, too, because if it's in your heart. But it's also good business. So thank you, Volvo. Yeah. Go buy me a Volvo, daggone, next time I need a car. Let's see. What else is going on? What I'm going to do, I'm going to take another quick break. And I'm going to talk about this last couple of quick, only because I have my good friend, attorney Bradley Thomas on the call, on the line. Not on the line, he's a viewer of the show. So I have to get him on the show to talk about these next two items. Nike is suing Lil Nas X for this Satan shoes. The name alone should be enough. We should all be suing him. He came out with a pair of Satan shoes with human blood in it. Man, I can't make this stuff up. But anyway, so he took the Nike sneaker and they repurposed it, and it still had the swoosh on it. It's black and got red and got some. So anyway, so Nike said we have nothing to do. We don't want nothing to do with this. As a matter of fact, you heard now a brand. So Nike is suing. So far, right now they have a restraining order that they can't sell this shoe, and the company MSCHF, they're the actual one that produced it, and I guess Lil Nas is the one that's promoting it. And so some people are saying it may be ringing a little hypocritical because this same guy came out, and this same company came out with some Jesus shoes not too long ago, and Nike didn't sue them over that. As a matter of fact, Nike came out, they also supported a brand called GOAT, G-O-A-T. They didn't sue them for that, but now they're going to sue them over Satan shoes. You can't make this stuff up, ladies and gentlemen. At the same time, we have what's the name? Ice Cube. He's suing Robinhood, the app for the app for the stock app, which I use a lot. They used a likeness of him in one of their promotions, and he's suing them. He said they didn't get his permission. And they're saying, well, we didn't need permission because it was part of a public service announcement. We weren't making money doing it. So, Brother Thomas, you're going to have to come on here and sort this out for us one day this month and help us go through some of these intellectual property waters. On that note, we're going to take a quick break. When we come back, I'm going to talk about the dynamism of success. We don't work to succeed. We succeed so that we can do our work. We're going to talk about that in a moment. This is the Marketing Pulpit TV show. I'm Robert Gatewood, your host, and we're going to be right All right, welcome back to the Marketing Pulpit TV show. I'm Robert Gatewood, your host. I'm here every Friday at 10:30 a.m. bringing you the good marketing gospel. Support our sponsors, the Perfect Batch Foods. Go to perfectbatchfoods.com, get you that hot sauce and that twang spice, and you will not put it down. You will not be able to put it down like I have not been able to. We want to support the businesses in our community and the ones that help make this show possible. So if you want to support this show, support people like the Perfect Batch Foods. Support people like BLE Executive Suites. Support people like L. Riggs and Associates. Support people like the band that Brother Bradley Thomason the NP6 band. So support these people. And if you want to go to marketingpulpit.com, we try to keep a list of all the sponsors there. So in case you missed some of the ads, if it's not there yet, it'll be on there by the end of the week. So thank you again, Perfect Batch, BLE, L. Riggs Associates, B&B Cleaning, and everybody else who have entrusted your company in our good name so that we can help promote you on this show so we can put more people to work and create jobs in our community. This is the Marketing Pulpit TV show. I'm Robert Gatewood, your host, and I'm here every Friday at 10:30 a.m. bringing you the good marketing gospel. This is Good Friday. This is it's a Christian celebration that celebrates the resurrection of Jesus Christ, who was crucified on Calvary, and 3 days later he arose, and that's on Christmas. That was on Easter. Celebrated Easter now. Back then, I'm sure it wasn't Easter. Also, go to marketingpulpit.com and follow us. Follow us on Facebook. Follow us on Twitter. Follow us on Instagram, on YouTube, and we are Marketing Pulpit on all of those platforms. If you're not following us on Instagram, go there right now. Just type in Marketing Pulpit and follow. If you're not following us on Facebook, go there right now. If you're not following us on Twitter, go there right now if you have a Twitter account. And if you're not following us, you can actually go to marketingpulpit.com and hit the subscribe button on the homepage, and you'll be a subscriber to our YouTube channel, which we're trying to grow to get this message out and this information in as many ear holes as possible. I think one of those tunes from the Parliament Funkadelic. Want to be good to your ear hole. I'm going to give you what you're here for. Get some coffee in me. Ladies and gentlemen, did you know that success has to be watered like a plant? You don't work to succeed. You succeed so that you can work. You can get your work done. You can be better at it, more dynamic at it, reach more people, touch more souls with your purpose. So I'm going to help you today look at success in a different way. Because if you don't maintain success, it will atrophy. It's like a muscle you don't work. It'll go bad on you. So you must instill what I call dynamism into your success model. This is what dynamism does. Give some examples. If it's a plant, dynamism would water that plant. You have a nice plant, it's grown up all green, but success is like that water, to water it, keep it going. It like refrigerates that milk. It revs the engine. It exercises the muscle. That's what dynamism does for success. See, the problem with success is that it lures people into a slumber. It actually puts you to sleep. It invites this comfort that's undeserved. And it shuns challenge. We get too comfortable when we're successful. There was a song out in 1974. It was a group called Ecstasy, Passion, and Pain. Man, what a name, right? They say good things don't last forever. Good things don't last forever. You see why I'm not a singer now, right? Nothing lasts forever, including success. So think about, let's put this in the context of a basketball player. When you dunk that ball, you have 0 seconds to celebrate. You got to get back down the court and get on defense. If you ever watched that show Unsung by radio at TV One, Man, you know exactly what I'm talking about. Man, I watch that show. I walk away depressed every time. I almost said, man, I'm glad I didn't succeed. I look at what happened to these groups like the Silvers and the Barge and even the Jacksons. My brother and I had this, we did a post on Facebook a few years ago. And I said, Leon, why are we not successful like the Jacksons and the Barges and the Silvers? We have a group. We got the Afros. We're the same exact ages. As a matter of fact, I'm the exact same age as Prince, almost the same age as Michael. All these guys. We like all that same group. And I'm saying, why aren't we successful? And of course, Leon's responsible. Well, because we can't sing for one thing. Okay. Besides that, we had the froze with the guitar. We just couldn't sing. No, we could sing okay. But this success thing is kind of, there's not much rhyme or rhythm to it sometimes. So we decided to go off to college and we decided we're going to take a different route. And today, Leon and I have that conversation. We say, wow, maybe success wasn't. The master had a different plan for us. Success was more delayed for us, but no less significant, because now with his nonprofit, he's touching many people. He's out right now today. He said, I can't listen to the show this morning. He said, I'm going to share it, but I'm out delivering meals. He has a nonprofit. He feeds kids on Friday. And here I am doing this show trying to help businesses develop. So this success thing is fleeting. You can't just grab success and go to sleep, as what these show episodes of Unsung tell you. Success often comes wrapped in a gift. And that gift paper sometimes is so shiny that we don't really see the blessings that came with it. And we let it slip away. Look at success this way. It's not the end of the road, but it's a way station to the next leg of the journey. We don't have time to be spiking the ball, ladies and gentlemen. Success, we don't work to succeed. We succeed so that we can continue to work and fulfill our purpose. We have to relegate success to its rightful role. It's a stepping stone. It's the gateway to future successes. And you have to do this too. You can't spike the ball. You got to pick up that ball. Pick up that ball. Get ready for the next shot. Or pass that ball to somebody who has a clearer shot. That's another thing that happens sometimes when people are successful. They can't take the ball and they don't give the ball to anybody else. That success suddenly is wasted, because success cannot be your end goal. Success is just a step to the next level. Every ending has a new beginning. It was Funkadelic, George Clinton. Life is an endless unfoldment. Change your mind and change your relation to time. Now, this is something else I want you to think about too. This gets a little deep, because I do want my audience. That's why my audiences and my clients are so successful, because we take marketing to another level. We're not just out here trying to get customers, ladies and gentlemen. If that's your goal, you come to Gatewood Marketing and say, look, I'm just coming to you because I want to line my pocket and get rich. I want to get a bigger car, a fancier house, some neater duds. It's the wrong company. This is the wrong show. That's not us. We have a higher purpose on this particular show. And that's why we are growing leaps and bounds. That's why the pandemic didn't stop us. It elevated us. We're a different kind of show because we have different kind of listeners. Walter and Adrian Terrell from the Perfect Batch Foods, they didn't come to me by mistake. They're on a purpose. Bradley Thomas didn't come to me by mistake, nor did Gerald Brown or BLE or B&B Cleaning. These are mindful people who will have a greater calling, and they understand the responsibility that comes with success. We don't spike the ball over here. We're not wasting our money on crazy stuff. We have a greater purpose, building these businesses in our community and putting people to work. So you can't, when you're successful, you can't be out here being successful for success sake. looking for glorification and wrapping yourself in the garb of excess. That's not us. That shouldn't be you as well. You succeed. You don't work to succeed. You succeed to work to fulfill your purpose with greater ambition, with greater clarity and amplification. That's why you succeed. That's no time to rest, to take off. We don't spike the ball here. Now, you can't move a mountain when you're stuck in mediocrity. For better or worse, and I'm not going to judge, that mountain moving is reserved for people who have been blessed with success. That's more reason than ever why you have to succeed. You have things to do. You have a bigger mouthpiece. You have more followers. You have more power when you succeed. Now you can go out here, you have a greater chance of succeeding with that mission for which you have been charged. That's why I want you to succeed. That's why I want you to succeed. I want you to succeed so that you can do greater things. Now, why am I saying all this? Because I've seen people succeed beyond their wildest imaginations. They just looked up one day and success was on them like white on rice, and they didn't know what to do with it. That's why I keep going back to that episode of Unsung. I'm saying, why am I so obsessed with this show every week? Why am I can't, it's like an accident. I can't look away because I see it sometimes as the embodiment of what happens in our community sometimes. We have all this talent. We have all these success stories that are layering on top of each other. But it's opportunity wasted. So if this happens to you, let's just say you experience this wild success. Because I'm feeling responsible too now because I'm taking a lot of these folks to that success level. They're like, I just can't put you up there and then walk away and say, hey, now go out here and have a good life. I'm telling you, don't succeed. Don't work to succeed. I want you to succeed to continue your life's work, which is greater than going out here just making money. Yeah, I want you to make money. I want you to make a lot of it. But my sermon and my message to you is that we all have a greater calling. Success should be a weapon in your arsenal. It's not the end game. It's the means to an end. And so when you, under the sound of my voice, are blessed with this success, which I'm sure will come if you are grounded in purpose, look at that success as the opportunity, as the instrument to help you fulfill that purpose with greater velocity, greater amplification, greater zeal, reach more people. Take that success and weaponize it for good. Don't rest on it. It's going to come. But be ready for it when it comes. And that's my sermon on this Good Friday here at the Marketing Pulpit TV show. Folks, I want to thank you again for tuning in to the show. I'm here every Friday at 10:30 a.m. And grab a chair, set your clock, and come here and bring somebody with you. We're a different kind of show. Okay? I've been through so many things in my life. I've seen so many people succeed. I've seen so many people fail. I've helped so many. Some I can't help directly, but I try to point them in the right direction or tell them to take a different path. Everybody's not meant to succeed in business, but everybody has a purpose. If I can help you find that purpose, then I have succeeded. But it doesn't mean I stop. That just gives me more zeal, more amplification, and a louder mouthpiece to go out and help the next success. And I want you to join me as you succeed. Let's create businesses That's the mission of the Marketing Pulpit TV show. The mission is to build strong businesses in our community so we can put our people to work. I'm not mad at other communities for hiring their own people. I'm mad at our community for not hiring ours. But we can do this. And that's why I'm here every Friday at 10:30 a.m., bringing you the good marketing gospel. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to thank you again for tuning in to the Marketing Pulpit TV show. I am here every Friday at 10:30 a.m., bringing you the good marketing gospel. And we'll be back next week. We bring you a great lineup of co-hosts and guests. Later in the show, we're going to have a company. Later in the month, next month, we're going to have a company out of an international company that connects artists and producers and providers. They have offices in France and Senegal, the continent of Africa, and Europe. And they have decided to come onto the marketing pulpit to help tell their story and to tell our story. So we're looking forward to that coming up on the third Friday of the month. So don't go anywhere, folks. Just set your dial. Come back here to join us on the Marketing Pulpit TV show. And good day, Mr. Barlow. Glad to see you on the Marketing Pulpit this morning. Great young man out of the Manor Football League. And as I always say, every show before we get off the air, if you want to be successful, you have to do these three things. Do the right thing, do it at the right time, and you got to do it right. Enough talk. Enough talk. Let's get out here and get to work.
Rayford Lee Brown Sr. I am the owner and founder of B&B Cleaning Services, LLC. We are a janitorial, floor cleaning, and property maintenance business.